The female Titan was the first major antagonist that the gang interacted with in Attack on Titan. You're going to learn a lot more about her powers, background, and take a look into her relationships and motivations. Now, let's go. Alright, so first off, Annie's female Titan was responsible for the legions of Titans that broke into Shiganshina during the first attack on Wall Maria. Annie used her Scream ability to attract pure Titans to the walls while Reiner and Bertolt were busy breaking through the gate. Another time we saw her use this Scream ability was when she was captured by the scouts in the forest. Now when she did this in the forest, the pure Titans rushed to her and started trying to tear her apart, so we can assume they did the same thing during that first attack, but she got away somehow. Then the Titans flooded through the open gate, and the rest is history. Next up, and related to this Scream ability, this is the only ability of the female Titan that's completely unique to her. Well, besides the fact that she can consume parts of other Titans and gain their abilities, but that's neither here nor there. All the rest of her abilities just make her a jack of all trades. Now this Scream is awesome and completely unique to her, but her hardening skill isn't even really hers. Like, it's basically just the Armor Titan's ability, but scaled down. Other Titans can replicate this ability of the Armored as well, such as the Beast Titan or Aaron's Attack Titan, or especially the Warhammer Titan. Like I mentioned earlier, Annie's female has the ability to consume parts of other Titans and use their abilities to a lesser extent, so it's not just her hardening skill that she does this with. Other than that, she's kind of just like the Attack Titan, minus the ability to see the memories of the future inhabitants. She's super strong, has a ton of stamina, and with all of Annie's hand-to-hand combat training is just a great close combat fighter. Other than all that, she does have one more ability that I want to talk about, and that's going to lead us to our next point. Annie's cocoon of Titan hardening was a first to us in the series. By this point in time, we've seen hardened Titans do some amazing things. The Colossals that make up the walls of Paradis Island are just one of the examples of this. The Warhammer Titan also does some awesome stuff. One thing we never saw before or after is the user encasing themselves in a cocoon of this hardening and just going unconscious. I feel like this is distinctly different from the Wall Titans because they're basically just pure Titans. They don't have a user, so nobody's actually asleep inside of them. Now this ability is used by the Warhammer Titan, but like I said, there's a stark difference between these. The Warhammer user uses this as a protective coating to fight remotely while controlling the Warhammer. This means that the user of the Warhammer is awake inside their cocoon, but Annie is literally comatose inside of hers. Next up, the female Titan, or Annie's female Titan in specific, has greater regenerative abilities than those of the other Titans. We see in the fight in the forest with the Levi squad that Annie's Titan is able to focus her healing abilities in one specific area to expedite the healing process. Instead of healing everything at once very slowly, Annie uses this ability to focus her regenerative abilities into her eye so that she can recover enough to destroy the Levi squad. They were destroyed because they didn't know that this ability was a thing, because Aaron did not have it. Number 5, virtually nothing is known about the other inheritors of the female Titan. Now, what do I mean by this? We've never seen the other users of the female Titan, like, ever. We don't even know if they have to be female. Like, what would happen if instead of Marcel being eaten by Ymir, a male pure Titan comes along and eats Annie? Would the intelligent Titan have the same powers but just be called the male Titan? We honestly have no idea. I assume it would have the same abilities as Annie's, but I have no idea if it would actually manifest as a female Titan if it was a male user. There's really no way to know. Let me know what y'all think would happen if this did happen down in the comments below. Next up, Annie's father is the reason that her female Titan is so good at hand-to-hand combat. Because he wasn't her actual biological father, he raised her with one goal and one goal alone. He wanted her to become a warrior so that he could reap the benefits from this. He trained Annie very well, even teaching her to leverage her opponent's weight and size against them in battle. This fighting style was perfect for the stature of the female Titan. Number 7, despite Annie's dad raising her to be a weapon and a tool, he actually grew to love her more than anything else in this world. Well, not this world, but you know what I'm saying. Now, I just mentioned this in the last fact, but her dad wasn't actually her biological father. He was forced to immigrate into the Marleyan internment camp for Eldians, Liberio. His blood work was traced back to reveal that he had Eldian blood in him, so he had to do this. He found Annie as an abandoned baby, and being a forced immigrant from another place that experienced a good life before this, he decided to raise her to be a warrior. See, the families of warriors were granted honorary Marleyan citizenship, so they could live a almost normal life outside of Liberio. Now, because he wanted this so badly, he pushed Annie in training so hard that she did become a warrior, but she grew to almost hate him in the process. At one point in their training, he pushed her so hard that she snapped. She hit him and she crippled him for life. He was proud of this, but still, it was terrible. Over time, his feelings toward her changed. Before she left for Parody, he apologized for everything, even stating that being an honorary Marleyan didn't mean anything to him anymore. He loved her more than anything, and he just wanted her to come home safe. Number 8, when Eren begins the rumbling and undoes all Titan hardening in order to release the Wall Titans upon the world, he undoes Annie's cocoon, so she awakens. We see Annie join the fight against Eren in a moment we've all been waiting for. Her and Reina are good guys. It's just such a twist from her introduction as one of the big villains of the series that it blows me away every time. Number 9, getting into one of the very few romances in this series, Armin has a massive crush on Annie. Armin regularly visited Annie in her cocoon just to talk to somebody without the fear of repercussion. He felt a deep connection to her, especially after she spared his life during their encounter when she was the female Titan in the field. He eventually confesses his feelings to her, and while she downplays it, she realizes that there really is a spark to that by the end of the series. Number 10, Annie and Bertolt both wanted to turn back to Marley several times during their mission, but Reiner wouldn't let them. First, when Marcel was eaten by Ymir, they both wanted to turn back, but Reiner didn't let them. Once again, during their mission, after 5 years but right before the Battle of Trost, Annie wanted to return to Marley with the information they'd gathered on the attack and founding Titans. Reiner refused, and the story became what it is today. On a solemn note, number 11, due to the curse of Ymir, Annie only has 2 years left to live by the end of the series. As we know, Titan shifters only have 13 years to live after inheriting their Titan. Annie received her Titan a long time ago, and as a result, she only has 2 years left to live. If her and Armin want to have a meaningful relationship, they better get to it soon. Now, hopefully you know a lot more about Annie and her female Titans, so hit that subscribe button and check out this playlist linked on screen for more anime facts. Until next time, peace.